An African trust fund? You want billions from the UK taxpayers' pockets? For African, the UK is already the second largest contributor of foreign aid. Only last year we contributed £2.5 billion worth of money to Africa, but you want more. That was in foreign aid. Taxpayers actually fund the NGOs who are actively working against the wishes of the UK citizens and the citizens across Europe. I was in Greece with the Libe Committee last week. The message from the Socialist MEPs is we will reopen our borders. Our borders will be open. Even the NGOs were actually shocked at that, saying this would lead to riots in the camps. Unless we set the political messages right, billions won't make any difference as the human rights industry is actively working against us. The only way we can only help genuine asylum seekers is to reject your proposals, reject the EU and vote Brexit on the 23rd of June.
Madam Atkinson, there is a blue card for you from Mr. Zekowski.
Madam Atkinson, do you agree? You have said that in Libe we are for opening the borders of the EU. When did you go to the Libe meeting last time? When did you hear that we discussed those things, in fact?
I haven't got it on. Oh, I have. Right, OK. Libe, I was in the Libe meeting a couple of weeks ago where I represented my group ahead of a discussion post going to the Conference of Presidents, where I specifically asked for something that should not go onto the agenda, which was the EU-Turkey deal. So I was there representing my group. We were actually ignored by the Libe Committee. Timothy Kirkhope, a British MEP, refused to have our group's proposal put forward. And when I was in the migrant camps 3 weeks ago, the socialist Peter Niedermüller actually said, we have open borders here. We are working with the Commission to open our borders. Now, there were 3 groups in here that were represented in that meeting that said, you cannot give that message. It is dangerous. And the NGOs told me that. So you should ask your socialist colleagues what they're saying about we have open borders. That is sending the wrong message to Africa and the rest of the millions that want to come as migrants to our countries that we cannot afford.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
That our response to the present humanitarian crisis in Europe should be a comprehensive one. And I agree that Africa should receive our increasing political consideration. Nevertheless, the first ideas proposed on the Migration Compact do not mention 2 extremely important points. First, there is no mention on the defence of human rights. We seem only interested in getting rid of present and future refugees. Of course, we are ready to pay for getting rid of them. The second lacking point is closely related to the first. Apparently, we totally trust all African leaders, morally and economically. My question is, are we going, for instance, to trust the countries which were mentioned here as we have trusted Turkey? Without a defence of human rights, without a strong democratic control on our own procedures and on our agreements with third countries, we are about to repeat all mistakes made in the recent past.
Mr. Lavia, you have a blue card. Madam Atkinson.
So you talk about human rights, but do you not agree with me that the human rights industry actively works against us? On a radio programme recently on the BBC, I actually challenged the Red Cross and said, you turn economic migrants into refugees. And he openly admitted that. It's there to hear on tape. And I was in the Greek migrant camps 3 weeks ago, and the same thing's going on. Do you actually believe that taxpayers' money should be wasted on such initiatives?
Mr. Terry Kravas.
I just believe that we shouldn't confuse things. Human rights should be accomplished everywhere. If someone doesn't, well, that's not my